The United States Department of Supernatural Defense was still very much a small, up-and-coming branch of the United States military. Traditionally, the United States had simply utilized traditional military tactics against the supernatural, but over the past year, it had become apparent that there was a need for a specialized branch of the military dedicated specifically to fighting powerful supernatural threats. The supernatural had been feared and hated since the day man began to walk the earth. It would be no small task to integrate them into normal society. The more he began to understand their various leaders and communities around the world of the supernatural, the more he began to believe that a unity between them and normal folks could never actually happen. "She's here." Glover thanked the woman on the phone before hanging up. One step at a time, he told himself. They would start off small, on an individual basis, and work their way to building a program that was fair for everyone. For now, they had to focus on the task at hand: how to handle a vampire. He had received a report from his people that the supernatural activity in a certain town was unusually high. Unexplained markings on buildings, claw marks, black flames that burned for 3 days and nights before fizzling out, and destroyed pavement and homes. It seemed as if two particularly nasty beings were having a spat with one another, and neither side wanted the authorities to be involved. One party was still unknown to them, but the department believed the other to be a vampire. Discussion of the situation led the team to decide that an expert should be brought in. And today, that was just what Glover going to do. A knock came at the door. The vampire hunter had arrived. "Come in," he said as he got to his feet. She was led into the room by his secretary, who smiled at him warmly. He ignored her and focused his attention on the young woman standing behind her. She was, to his surprise, completely masked by a bright yellow scarf wrapped tightly around her face. It was still warm, so the sight of it was somewhat off-putting. Despite not being able to make out of her face, however, Glover was able to make out some other key features. Her blonde hair, for instance, was relatively short and neat. Her build was lithe and athletic, and she seemed relatively young. How young, he could not say. "Bonjour," she said, nodding her head slightly. She reached out a small hand to him, and he took it. It was not a proper handshake, he was surprised to see. She offered him her hand as if she expected him to kiss it. "Bonjour," he returned. "I hope you had a pleasant flight." "It was dreadful, actually," the girl noted, as she pulled her hand away from him.